and what are the possible factors that can lead to oligopoly and its respective features. Then I told you that we are going to discuss the models of oligopoly, which are a part of your syllabus. There are four particular models. There are duopoly models, there are oligopoly models, there is Baumol sales revenue maximization model, and there is the game theory oligopoly model. The first case is the duopoly models, in which we did the Cournot, Bertrand, Edgeworth, and Stackelberg model. Then we did the oligopoly models. Under oligopoly, we had non-collusive and collusive models. Under the non-collusive, we had Chamberlain's model. Chamberlain was further divided into two parts. The first part of the the Chamberlain model and the Sweezy model. Then we did the collusive models. Under the collusive models, again, the collusive models were divided into two, the cartel and the price leadership model. Cartel was further divided into joint profit maximization model and non-price competition and quota system model, right? And yesterday we talked about the price leadership model, and I told you that the price leadership can take place via four ways. Number one is when the firm is most efficient with respect to the cost effective status. Number two, when there is a dominant firm, price leadership by dominant firm. Then there is barometric price leadership, and there is non-price competition. So this all comes under the price leadership models. Under the two, we have already discussed the dominant firm and the most cost-effective models of oligopoly under the collusive oligopoly. And under the price leadership models. Today we are going to talk about the barometric price leadership. Barometric price leadership जो है ये एक this is another kind of price leadership that we are going to talk about. When we talk about barometric price leadership, you always have to remember that this kind of price leadership, all right, is initiated by a firm who is very well aware of the market conditions, जिसको मार्केट की पूरी नॉलेज है. ठीक है, ये लार्जेस्ट फर्म नेसेसरली हो ऐसा नहीं हो सकता. ऑल राइट, ये जो प्राइस लीडरशिप यहाँ पर निकल कर आता है, ये वो बंदा है या ये वो वाली फर्म है जिसको बड़ी नॉलेज है प्रिवेलिंग मार्केट कंडीशंस की, और जो प्रिडिक्ट कर सकता है किसी भी मार्केट कंडीशन को बहुत प्रिसाइसली एज कंपेयर टू हिज कॉम्पिटिटर्स, एज कंपेयर टू हिज राइवल्स. क्योंकि वो मार्केट कंडीशंस को प्रिडिक्ट कर सकता है, उसको करंट प्रिवेलिंग मार्केट कंडीशंस पता है, उसको पास्ट कंडीशंस पता है. और राइट, और इस वजह से उसको पता चलता है कि मेरी जो राइवल फर्म्स होंगी या कॉम्पिटिटिव फर्म्स होंगी, वो कैसे रिएक्ट करेंगी. तो ये एक तरह का बैरोमीटर, it acts as a barometer of the change that can take place in the demand and supply conditions of the market. तो जो ये फर्म है, और राइट, ये अपने प्राइसेस अनाउंस करती है. अगर प्राइस चेंज करना हो यही फर्म अनाउंस करती है. और राइट, और जो बड़ी बड़ी फर्म्स हैं, वो आपस में, because there is a cutthroat competition between those big firms, all right, that acts as a disadvantage to them, and hence they cannot take the role of the price leadership over there. और जो आपस में जो बड़ी बड़ी फर्म्स की रिवलरी है, all right, वो उनको अनएक्सेप्टेबल बनाती है एज अ फॉर्म ऑफ अ लीडर. all right, तो जो एज अ रिजल्ट जो प्रिडिक्टिव एबिलिटी है किसी भी एक फर्म की कि क्या मेरी डिमांड और कंडीशंस आगे मार्केट में होने वाली हैं, क्या मार्केट कंडीशंस प्रेजेंट है, क्या आने वाली है, तो जो उसकी ये प्रिडिक्टिव एबिलिटी है, जो उसकी बैरोमीट्रिक क्वालिटी है, उसको फेवर करती है कि वो एक प्राइस लीडर के रूप में इमर्ज हो सके. दूसरी बड़ी बात यह है कि जो जितनी भी फर्म्स हैं इंडस्ट्री में, ठीक है, उनके पास लार्जर फर्म्स या स्मॉलर फर्म्स, डिपेंड, ये नहीं मायने रखता कि वो लार्ज फर्म्स है या स्मॉल फर्म्स है, लेकिन अगर लार्ज फर्म्स भी हैं तो ऑलराइट, वो इस टंटे में नहीं पड़ना चाहती कि भाई हम कॉन्टिन्यूअस कैलकुलेशंस करते रहें डिमांड की, सप्लाई की, कॉस्ट की. तो जो भी अगर कोई एक फर्म प्राइस चेंज कर रहा है या फिक्स कर रहा है या सेटल कर रहा है, तो वो कहते हैं कि ठीक है, वी आर गोइंग टू टेक दिस प्राइस, ऑलराइट, और वी आर गोइंग टू कंटिन्यू विद दैट. So उनके पास ना तो willingness है, ना capacity है, ना ability है, right, to make these calculations. So because they do not have this insight of calculations, they just let it go into the hands of one firm who has this capability, and they rely on that particular firm, and that particular firm emerges as a leader. Okay. And the third thing when we talk about the barometric price leadership is that it is basically, is always a result of long economic warfare that takes place between the larger firms. And as a result, either all the firms are losers or they are very big winners. They could be losers, they can be winners, but they do not have the capacity to evolve themselves as a leader, because they do not have that capacity to, engage themselves into a situation where they can gauge what is going to be the economic predictability of the situation, and hence that particular firm which has this capability to act as a barometer, or the ones which has the capability, or rather a better knowledge of what may take place in the country, which has knowledge of the prevailing market conditions, has the ability to predict those futuristic market conditions more precisely, comes out as a, or emerges out as a price leadership. Have you understood this? Yes, Bete, have you understood what is barometric price leadership, everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Then we have the non-price competition in oligopolistic markets. Here also, the firms may not emerge as price leaders, but क्योंकि price के basis पे अगर हम conclude करें, तो प्राइस के बेसिस पे लड़ाई नहीं की जा सकती ओलिगोपॉली में, नॉन प्राइस बेसिस पे ही ओलिगोपोलिस्टिक फर्म्स में लड़ाई होती है। और जो मेजर जरिया है आपस की रिवलरी का, जो that takes place between these oligopolistic firm is non-price competition. This non-price competition, it takes place via two forms. One is product differentiation and the other is advertising. Product differentiation, जहां पर आप अपने प्रोडक्ट को more attractive करते हो as compared to your rival firms, so that the new customers, they can offer their preferability of your product. You can change your product with respect to appearance, you can make it more attractive, you can give a 50% extra, all right, or you can give a 50% discount, you can give an after sale service, you can provide an extended warranty, all right, you can make it more affordable, all right, you can give certain extra facilities with your product. So how you differentiate your product, that is one non-price competition. And the other is advertising. Advertising plays a very, very important role because it basically alters the demand curve. It alters the demand curve, it shifts the demand curve upward, and the seller, it is trying to take other persons or rival firms market by advertising, telling them not only that I am there, but also telling them that I am better than the others, right? So it is very, very difficult in oligopoly to face tough competition between the firms. So the one competition that prevails is non-price competition. So under the duopoly models, under the oligopolistic models, we have finished the duopoly models, all the four, the Cournot, Bertrand, Stackelberg, and all those. All right. We have also finished the oligopolistic models. We have done the non-collusive, all right, the Chamberlain and the Sweezy. And we have also done the collusive, the cartels and the price leadership. Now we are going to do the two left out models, all right, two left out uh, pieces of jargon that we are left with. One is the Baumol's sales maximization model, and the other is the game theory model. So these are the only two models we are left with in oligopolistic firm. With that, your unit 2 will be over, and soon we'll be starting with unit 3. Unit 3 should not take long. This week I'm going to finish your unit 2 and start with unit 3 as well, most likely. And the next week, I'm going to finish your 3 units, and then after that, I am going to start with your presentations. So next to next week, that is This week I'm going to finish your unit 3, and also start with I'm going to finish unit 2 and I'm also going to start with unit 3. Half of the unit 3 we've already done in the first semester, and I expect you to do that from there. And the rest of the half I'm going to do it with you. The fourth unit, the welfare economics, I hope your presentations and your PPTs are ready, and you people are going to give your presentations accordingly. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
So you have to be precise and you have to be ready with your presentations, and that we are going to start with the next week. So next week I'm going to finish your syllabus most likely, and hopefully we are going to start with our presentations next week. And then once we are through with the presentations, I am going to discuss where have you fared as far as your paper is concerned. All right. The fag end of May is there, and I told you to submit your papers by 1st of June, by the first week of June. So I will keep the submission of your papers by 7th of June. I hope both the teams A and B are working towards it. Team A and Team B, are you working for your paper? I'm not getting any reply. Team A and Team B. Is there a problem with the paper? Yes? At least answer to me. I hate this when...
Excuse me, ma'am.
Yes, Muskan. I can't hear you, Muskan bete. Am I audible to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
So I'm asking